Mahfuz को बोले हो? हाँ करना है।
Hi, good evening, everyone. Madam, can you please give me the host access? Good evening, Santan. Okay. Madam, can you please give me the host access? Thank you. Okay. Any questions on yesterday's session? I mean, till the point we have covered. Hopeless. The word format is visible. Okay. Okay, fine. Before starting, we'll try to understand what we have done yesterday. Okay. Okay. Yesterday, what and all we have discussed. Anybody can? Just a quick recap. Am I audible? Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Okay. Any inputs from others? Just a
सर
what we have
सर
discussed
क्वेश्चन क्या सर?
क्वेश्चन कुछ नहीं. कल हम क्या I mean सीखा है. What we have learned yesterday. What we have discussed about yesterday. What we have discussed on which topic. What and all we have discussed yesterday.
So what is the routine activity and non-routine activity? So which activities require the work permits, and which are the areas we need to focus, like electrification work, confined workspace, art works, the height works. What are the guidelines for this? And work permits, who is the issuer and who is the acceptor?
Okay.
And work permits issue hours, total 8 hours. In case the work was extended, another 1 or 2 hours it may extended. For that, no need a new permits, same permit only you can use that.
Okay.
And work permit, while issuing the permit, what are the PPEs, depending on the area. I mean, hard work or confined space, which area they are going to work. According to the place, which are the PPEs must, whether they are holding, the vendors are having, or whether they are using. Then the permission slips has to display their work areas. Yes, sir. So etc. We ask.
Okay. Third copy with whom it will be? Who will carry the third copy of permit?
EHS.
EHS. Second copy?
Second copy is the owner, the department.
Sure. First copy, acceptor.
Yeah, issuers.
Okay. Anything else we have discussed apart from this? In the types of the permits, what and all we have covered? hold or open space, electrical, excavation, then radiography, any other work at hand. Okay, these are the permits you have got. We have seen what is mean by who is mean by issuer. We have seen who is mean by acceptor, and we have seen the content in the permit. What and all will be there in the permit? One is description of activity or duration, date and time, checklist for the activity they are performing, then signatory column. And if it is a confined space and all, there you will get the gas tester. Okay. Who and all will be involved in this permit? Involving will be at least the permit has to be raised by the employee, not by the contractor. Okay. These are the points we have discussed. We'll see what and all we can cover. I think yesterday gas testing we have covered. I think till yesterday, still issuer we have covered. I think their responsibilities. Correct, or any other points we missed? I think yeah, till here only. Okay. Any questions on yesterday's session? Any questions? No questions. We can start. You can.
सर जो इशूअर और सर और जो रिसीवर है और जो सर अप्रूवल है वो तीनों के बीच में उनको जो ट्रेनिंग है ना कॉम्पिटेंट पर्सन होना चाहिए, मतलब थर्ड पार्टी से किया हुआ होना चाहिए।
हाँ उसीलिए हम तो एक पॉइंट डिस्कस किया था ना, ऑल द ऑथराइज्ड पर्सन्स हैज टू बी ट्रेन्ड करके बीच में एक पॉइंट लिखा था। ओके, समवेयर वी हैव सीन।
क्योंकि सर इसमें क्वेश्चन आ सकता है कि जो इशू किया है ये रिसीवर है इशूअर है, वो क्या अप्रूवल है कि नहीं है, ऑथराइज है कि नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ क्वेश्चन भी आ सकता है बीच में।
हाँ, उसके लिए भी एक पॉइंट था ना, ऑथराइज्ड लिस्ट ऑफ पीपल टू बी मेंटेन्ड करके, लिस्ट ऑफ ऑथराइज्ड पीपल टू बी पेस्टेड इन द रेस्पेक्टिव एरियाज, उसका भी एक पॉइंट है। अभी किधर एग्जैक्ट मालूम नहीं है, ढूंढ के देखना है उसका, बट देयर इज अ पॉइंट, यस्टरडे वी हैव सीन दैट। ठीक है, चलो। We'll see then the approvals part we have covered yesterday, issuer part. Today we'll see from executor who is executing the activity, in the sense behalf of company, one employee, maybe it is in a project, or it is maybe a safety, it is maybe an instrumentation department, or quality, or production. So here the executor will be the HODs from the maintenance, inspection, construction, or any other engineering services departments can authorize personnel working under them to receive the permit. And a list of employees who are authorized to receive permit shall be maintained in the plant areas. हरे राम देखिए, इधर भी उन लोग पॉइंट लगा हुआ है। So who is taking the permit? The list has to be displayed
Screen share
or
अव्वल है, sir.
maintained in all the plants and areas. Sorry.
स्क्रीन शेयर
वो
अव्वल
स्लाइड
Sir,
नहीं
yes.
दिख रहा है.
Please share the screen.
Not visible, sir.
Is it visible now?
हाँ, okay, okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
बुझिए.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So if you see in executor part, the HOD is from the maintenance, inspection, construction, or any other engineering service departments can authorize personnel working under them to receive the permit. And a list of employees who are authorized to receive the permit shall be maintained in the all the plants and areas who is authorized to take the permits. The executor is an employee of a company. The executor, even though you're taking the help of the contractor, but still you are the owner, either engineering or either maintenance or either civil engineer, or I mean to say that projects. So though people has to take the permit. Prior to issue a work permit, the issuer and the executor shall jointly inspect the job location and also identify the requirements of job preparation and also special PPs required for the safe execution. Jointly, they will do an assessment of the work area and they will identify the requirement or the PPs which are required for the performing an activity. And the responsibility for the safe execution of the job lies with the acceptor of the permit. So if you see the acceptor, the responsibility of the safe execution of the job is always responsible, will be with the acceptor, but accountable by the issuer. He ensured that all the PPs are stipulated in the permit or compiled with the safe procedure or followed. Apart from PPs, whatever the other conditions which are mentioned in the permit, he will ensure that everything is implemented. And after the executor sign the permit, he will hand over to the permit to the technician or the contractor, the supervisor making under him, and maintenance technician or contractor supervisor shall sign in the permit and meet the area operator before starting the work. So once it is the executor signing is done, it is hand over to the concerned technician or contractors. Technician will be if your own employees are working, the contractor will be third party person comes in. And prior to that, area operator, who is the specific area owner or the people they are working in that specific area. So those people have to be aware about your activity so that they have to meet them. The area operator, after satisfying himself that the conditions mentioned in the permit are compiled with the signs of the work permit, and also returns the permit to the maintenance technician and contractor supervisor for the starting of the job, then the executor should display his copy of the permit in the work site. This we have seen yesterday. So whatever the executor copy, it has to be displayed at the site location for the person around the area to be aware. And a toolbox talk has to be conducted by the acceptor to the contract workers to the prior starting of the job. So this is also mandatory for the performing an activity. A safety stock should be emphasized the proper procedure for the carrying out of the job, identify any hazards involved, and also the precautions to be taken. And where necessary, prior training sessions can be arranged as appropriate. So there they talk about the what to be done, what are the PPs required, and identification of the hazards, and also in case of any training necessity, so it has to be conducted. Then it is the responsibility of the executor to ensure the contractor is made aware of the following during execution of the job. So executor will be the company employee. The conditions identified in the work permit are complied. The contractor supervisor should inform to the executor and also area operator. And it is the responsibility of the contract supervisor to provide required PPs to the workers. So here, if the contractor is involved, so he is responsible for providing the PPs. And after the work is complete, the executor should ensure that the housekeeping of the area is restored to a normal before signing of the permit as completed. Once it is completed, the housekeeping has to be conducted, then they have to clear all the debris based on the nature of activity. In case of a confined space vessel entry, the executor should ensure that all the men and other material have been removed from the work area. If it is a confined space, the material has to be removed from the space from the work area before equipment is boxed up. So before equipment boxed up, in the sense, before closing of the equipment, you have to ensure that everything material, everybody has been taken out or came out. In case of job is to be carried out through the contractors under the supervision of plant operations personnel, no maintenance person are involved, the shift in charge can issue a permit. So in case shift in charge, so here that is not in a maintenance activity and no people have been involved, then shift in charge will comes in. In case of a project activity, either engineering, maintenance or project people will comes in. If no contractor or no other personal operational personnel, no maintenance personnel is involved, then shift in charge can issue the permit to the shift in charge or area operator. Okay. And then the authorization to accept the permit by the shift engineer or the area operator will be done by the HOD or area in charge. After all the tools and tackles, ladders and scaffolding required for the job will be responsibility of the agency undertaking the job. It shall ensure that certification of the hand tools, portable electrical tools, ladder and scaffolding, etc. before taking into use. So into the third party is involved or the agency involved, third party or the people who are performing an activity, they should ensure that whatever the tools they are using, those tools are properly certified and also good in condition. I think it is a spelling mistake here. Some P has to go. Okay. Plant or area in charge. So one is for hard work and confined space. And second, excavation, permit, authorization of the plant area in charge is required. If you see hard work, keep it bold. Then confined space, excavation, who is required? A plant or area in charge. He is the signing authority for issuing. The employees working above the level of the shift in charge in the plant or a non-plant area and authorized by the plant HOD will sign as a plant area in charge. HOD himself can sign as a plant area in charge for the authorizing the permits. So if you see the working level, shift in charge in the plant or non-plant area and authorized by the plant HOD will sign the plant area in charge. So whoever will be in the above the designation of the in charge or the HOD of the plant, in the sense the unit head who specifies the people who are able to or who are eligible to sign on the permit, those people can sign as a in place of plant in charge as a permit authority. Then the area operator will be when the work permit is presented to the area operator by the acceptor. The area operator satisfies himself that the work conditions identified in the work permit have been compiled with, and he then signs in the work permit and also hand over to the permit back to the maintenance technician or contractor supervisor for the starting of the work. So here area operator also will be there. One is acceptor, issuer, then area operator. When the work is complete, the permit is to be closed. The area operator inspects the work area. Here, the role of the area operator will be once it is completed, he will inspect the work area for the housekeeping and also the clearances and also signs in the work permit and also hands over the permit to the acceptor. Once it is completed, area operator will verify it, the conditions, then he will give it back to the contractor or acceptor. Also, the coming shift operator should review the ongoing work in his work area and also give his approval for the continuance of work by the putting his signature in the appropriate place. So in case work is continuing from first shift to the second shift, so the continuing operator also should monitor this and also he has to sign on the permit stating that he has take over that activity. And the area operator shall keep himself aware about the job being executed in his area and also ensure safe conditions are maintained. So the specific area operator, in the sense the area owner or in charge or specific line owner, so block owner, he should ensure that everything is going in a proper condition. And he shall keep in watch the jobs and also take appropriate action if any hazardous condition is developed during the course of the work permit. If the conditions are warrant, he may suspend the job and also immediately inform to the shift in charge or shift engineer. In case in your area, if the work is not happening properly, what will happen? You are eligible to suspend the activity. Then you can inform to your respective in charge or shift engineer. And the coming area operator of the next shift is responsible for the endorsing the conditions as specified in the work permit and also prior to the continuation of the work. So in case the work is going further, so the following the shift or area operator as at endorse. So he will also verify it in case of any activity stopped in the first shift. So he will verify the conditions of that activity. Then he will sign on the permit for continuation. And after the work permit is complete, the acceptor should ensure that housekeeping of the area is back to the normal before assigning of the permit as completion. Here, the acceptor also has to ensure that before signing on closure of the permit, he has to clear or he has to perform the housekeeping. Then inter-plant clearances is also one of the requirement in this standard. For the jobs on pipelines, which terminates in the other plant or district, or the persons permitting the work should inform to the concerned with the signature of the area in charge or shift in charge shall be taken in the shift to ensure that the line is safe for the activity. Interchange means if the pipeline is going from one block to other block or one place to other place, from one specific area to other specific area, we have to ensure that both the parties should know the pipe is lined to or the specific equipment is safe to perform the activity. If your work is to be carried out, an equipment or a facility which connections another plant, where the safety of the job relies on the isolations which are outside the control of the plant or which the work is to be carried out, and the permit shall be endorsed by the shift in charge of the both the plants on the permit. So here, for example, any LT breakdown or HT breakdown, or in case of any pipelines which are not controlled by you, or which are not supplies are not controlled by you, or which is from outside, in those cases you have to seek the permission and you have to perform the proper isolations where this LOTO comes in. For any maintenance work on outside a battery limit pipelines or supplying raw materials or chemicals or any utilities, the owner of the pipeline authorizes the work on such lines and also issue the permit. So you are not the owner. In case you are performing any maintenance activity, the owner has to sign on the permit. And interplant clearances and assisting the isolation at the battery limits of the receiving plants and facilities are required before starting of any work. Also, the receiving plants will issue the separate work permit for necessary isolation to their maintenance department. One is the interplants will be from two different plants. Apart from this, internally they will have issue a separate work permit for their internal isolations to the maintenance department. Then if the worker is falls under the ownership of the another plant or department, the owner of the pipeline obtains a separate work permit from the area owner where the job is required to be carried out. So if the job is in other side or it is not in your plant, so whoever the area owner, there or those people permission has to be taken before carrying of the work activity. Then in case of any other pipelines are running adjacent to the line, the way the work is to be carried out, and the owner of the pipeline identifies the intended pipelines clearly or displays identification marks along with the pipeline before issuing the work permit. And this is to avoid unintended work or any charged pipelines by mistaken. Sometimes what will happen, there are a couple of pipelines. If it is in a trench which is made, they'll have n number of pipelines or mutually shared trenches. So in those cases, the pipelines to be or has to be identified which pipeline you are exactly working, or other pipelines also identified with their materials to avoid the working on unnecessary lines. Then is revalidation and renewals. So how will validate your permit? So the validation will be the permit shall be issued by the initiator or issuer permit till the end of the shift only. So if you see the end of the shift, this you have to observe. In case if the job is not taken up or not completed within the same shift of the issue of the permit must be renewed by the endorsement of the incoming shift in charge by incorporating or ensuring necessary changes or safety requirements. So whenever the shift and in charge is changing, for example, you started your activity on first shift, you are not able to complete it, is extending to the second shift also. So upcoming second shift in charge also has to sign on the permit. And the excavator shall, the executor shall sign on the sign and also forward it to the issuing authority for the extension of the work permit. So here the executor, which means who is the requester, then it will goes to the issuing authority for the extension. The validity of the radiography permit shall be for a single use only, and the duration of which shall be mentioned in the permit itself. So for the radiography, the permit shall be for a single use only, and the duration they have to mention. Here no extensions. Then revalidation or renewal of the permits. So the revalidation renewal permit will be if the work is to be continued without interruption beyond the approved time limits, then the work permit requires to be revalidated. If the work is suspended for the rest of the day and is restarted on the next day, and the work permit requires renewal. So whenever the renewal, in the sense, today it is finished, so tomorrow you are going to perform the same activity. So again, you have to do the renewal of the permit. In the sense, again, you are taking signature from the executor, issuer, and also area operator. The work permits will be revalidated or renewed by issuer when requested by the acceptor. And the acceptor approaches the issuer with the acceptor copy, and also the work permit duly filled within the details of the extension required at the backside of the work permit and also signed by him. So what will happen for the renewals? When it is required by the acceptor, it is issued by, and the acceptor approaches the issuer with the acceptor copy for the execution. Then revalidation or renewal of the work permit will be done by the issuer after a joint site inspection along with the acceptor. Again, for the execution also there is a joint inspection. And also checking the condition in the work area and then endorsing the extension appropriately in the work permits. Then after extension of the validity or renewal of the work permit, it is required to be endorsed by the area operator again. It has to be addressed by the area operator. Now all the signing authorities must sign the permit for the execution or extension of the permit. Everybody has to sign on it. The validity of the cold work, hard work, vessel entry permit and also excavation permit shall be for 7 days. Upon completion of the 7 days, new permit to be issued. So once you have issued it, it will be for the 7 days, but every day you have to get it signed. It is not that, okay, you got signature on the first day, for next 7 days you are going to continue. No, that is where the validation and renewal comes in. Upon completion of 7 days, you have to get a new copy. So 7 days completion, you will get a new copy of permit. Then gas test before revalidation and renewal, it is also a necessary point. Whenever you are doing or revalidating or you are giving a renewal, you have to do a gas test. Necessary gas test should be carried out at the time of revalidation or renewal of the work permit. And the results of the gas test will be recorded in the appropriate columns and also the backside of the permit by the gas tester with his signatures. So whenever he does a gas test, he has to note down the results of the gas test, then he has to sign on it. Okay. It is about the revalidation and renewals. Next is closure and cancellation. While converting the starting letters, I will just get okay. A closure of the permit. So the permit can be extended for a total of 7 calendar days maximum. So it can be extended 7 calendar days. For work extending beyond the 7 days, a new permit to be issued after closing the permit of the existing work permit. Also, if there is a break in the work for more than 1 calendar day, a new permit has to be issued.